Alright everybody, welcome back. Once again, it's the NewMutator bringing you some Myth World Cup 2012 action. Finally, I got the film, so I'm going to be reviewing this matchup here. It's going to be Silent Sentinels. Down here in the south, they're going to be the red team, captained by Honky. Looks like we have a mysterious Noel Gallagher. I'm not quite sure who that is. Monty, once again, joining the Sentinel team. Jotun, Blonde, Khan, Toxin, and the Lizard King will also be making a first-time appearance here for the Sentinel effort. Facing them in the north, the white team, it's Dragon Army, aka R3, Rat King will be captaining. Slate, Valentine, Muse, 10, K-Size, and Kremisi have all shown up to spearhead their effort here in game number 1. It is the QR2, and this is the final matchup of the QR2 that I'm reviewing. So it looks like we have 7 players for R3 and 8 players for the Sentinels. So we will see who comes out on top. Looks like we have heavy warriors here for Sentinels. They only are taking about 10 archers. They are taking a good amount of pus, it looks like, also maximum herons as well. Now only 2 dwarfs and a good amount of thrall for defense. It looks like they are playing capture the flag and not flag rally as per the rules for this round. I'm sure we'll let it slide this time, but it's supposed to be flag rally, but we're gonna have capture the flag instead, so that might be exciting. R3 is gonna opt for a maximum archers, as we can see here. 16 archers to the Sentinels 10. They are getting a lot less warriors here, and not as many goals, although only 1 white's worth of pus fewer than the Sentinel squad. And look at all of these thrall here, almost a maximum thrall. They are getting maximum herons as well, and 4 dwarves to the Sentinels 2 dwarves. So Honky is telling his team only target dwarves, and he's talking, I believe, about the pus goals here. They will be picking up these pus packets of the fallen whites and throwing those at sensitive targets such as dwarves. So Muse and 10 have better be careful. Slate also has a dwarf, and there's one more dwarf somewhere. Let's see if we can find him. Oh, there he is. He's going to be hanging out on the flag with Rat King. All that thrall is going to be kind of in that defensive position there. I do expect both teams to have a lot of thrall on the flag, and we do see that here for the Sentinels, and both of their dwarves are going to be on the flag, and I'm not sure just how useful that will be for their team. It kind of seems like they're setting themselves up for failure. Kind of an interesting shot there, freezing his other dwarf. Honky is taking the defensive units on his team, which is unusual for him, although for a captain in general, not that unusual. So R3 is going to be splitting up into 3 flanks here, and Sentinels will just be juggernauting the middle and only sending 1 lone warrior to scout the eastern side there. R3 is going to quickly back away and reinforce their center from their flanks in response to seeing this massive force heading towards them. Sentinels just non-stop. Now I kind of see why they didn't send their dwarves, because dwarves have a tendency to be rather slow. 10's dwarf going to be taken out, as we can see right there. So that's one dwarf gone for R3. A counter pus going on here, trying to slow down that inevitable push in order for that melee to respond and kind of push it back temporarily, allowing those archers to do a little bit of damage there. Though they do get pussed, it isn't very serious. You can see a kind of a nice fire arrow there. And Slate's dwarf getting a shot off and able to come out on top of that pus and get the heal. So kind of a nice, that worked out for R3. And Sentinel's taking a lot of damage here. I think they definitely are not winning. I'm just not sure if they are going to be able to do much. They were not able to take out Slate's dwarf, and so they're kind of reluctant to push because of that. As we can see, Slate's dwarf able to do a ton of damage right there. Lizard King already coming up with excuses. This was foolish. Should have waited for arcs. And kind of an understatement there. 50% to 70% they are down. 20% they're going to head out, and we can see Muse
contested.
Muse kind of slipped down the western side there, and we saw that Honky wasn't able to adequately scout for that, and Muse is trying to do what he can to take out Honky's dwarf on the defense. His dwarf is finally going to make it to this little battle here. He does kind of foolishly lose those warriors attempting to take that dwarf out. There we go. Honky, realizing that Muse is coming at him with the dwarf, spreads his thrall, trying to keep them from dying as quickly as they would normally. Kind of a wasted shot there by Muse. Not really his fault. He is able to take out a lot of thrall there. And Honky trying to really, he's just attempting to maneuver his dwarf to the high ground. We can see there Muse, kind of an interesting, he threw a dudded bottle there so that to get the net the double explosion, but he does with his dwarf in the end. Gets another shot off, so these thrall are significantly weakened. Honky spreading them out and clumping them back up. And finally, the Sentinel force is able to rally back home and respond. They are sending Puskulls out to target Muse's dwarf. Muse does a little bit of damage there to Toxin's goal, but Toxin has 2, and he is able to freeze him there, and that thrall should be able to take him out. And there we have it. So Muse, the Muse threat is neutralized. However, the R3 threat in general is just only now on its way and within reach of the Sentinel home flag. So I mean, there's nearly 6 minutes left in the game.
Flag contested.
And it's 61%, 43%. I think that R3 is in a very good position here. I think they may be able to pull this off. I'm not sure if the Sentinels are going to be able to repel this. Honky does have that surviving dwarf. He does get frozen, but no damage taken there by that small pus. But frozen long enough for Kremisi to send in those herons. Oh, and the R3 goal there, not able to unload his pus. Kremisi's Herons do get cleaned up, but not after dealing significant damage, and Honky's Dwarf was taken out. So now, a great deal of the Sentinel force is comprised of archers. I think most of it is archers here, so R3 just needs to send in the Herons and clean this up and take the flag. Sentinels are trying to unload their pus, but without a satchel trap, it's not going to take out all of these Herons. And there we have Slate's veteran dwarf surviving to the end here. Dodging those arrows.
Flag contested. Flag contested. Flag contested.
Well, Honky,
flag contested.
Already there's some dissension on the Sentinel team. So we saw Sentinels win their match in the QR1 against Age. And here they are in the QR2. They were able to field more players, but in the end, not sure if it worked out for them for the first game here. As you can see, they're just being picked off one by one by R3, relentlessly pushing on their flag, and they are going to take that flag. And every single one of, and really a counter push by Monty. That was kind of that was a good effort there. I didn't even really cover that, but Monty trying to sneak across and try to steal the flag, but just not really having enough forces there to take out all those Thrall. Thrall being somewhat effective as a defensive strategy. So R3 is going to come out on top. Looking at the numbers here, you know, Monty doing the best, I think, for the members of the Sentinels. 8 kills, 61 damage, and you know, it's interesting because 61 damage is the most damage out of anyone, and yet R3 came out on top. But look at the damage. 362 damage to 294. Damage really isn't that, I mean, it's fairly close, but look at the kills. 72 kills to 36, so double the kills even though the damage was close. So pretty interesting statistics there. 10 in Rat King and Kremisi netting kills for their team. 10 getting 14 and 8, not bad ratios. So we're going to go ahead and move into game number 2 and see what happens in this matchup. I hear it's a fairly close matchup, and we're about to investigate and find out once and for all who is the better team in the QR. Is it going to be R3 or is it going to be the Silent Sentinels? Game 2 coming next.